Okay, so in this particular case, I bring the data for Shin slope calculation. So all this data which you are seeing here is basically copy and paste from our class note. So over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this particular data and then I'm going to paste over here. And then I'm going to put a serial number. So the first one is 1, the second one is 2, the third one is 3. By that way, once I'm dragging these numbers, then it could end up 12. So in this particular case, the 1 means is, let's say, if we consider, J and K, which is our, X, J and K is basically denoting the location. So let's say first one, we are considering, K, and then the next one is, let's say J. And then forget about this word like the median one, rather than we are going to do is xi minus xk divided by j minus k. So if we do that particular way, then what happens is we are going to consider the first pair first. So in that particular case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the difference, and then I'm going to say something like this, and then I am going to put a bracket here, and then I am going to say divided by this particular location, that means 2 minus this particular one, and then I'm closing with the bracket here. Okay, so once I do this, then what happens is these two pairs I'm going to get this particular way. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is these particular locations, we are going to compare this one and then this one. So this one means this one will be like, okay, I'm going to say, okay, plus this minus this one divided by this one minus this one. Okay, so then instead of doing everything manually, what we can do is we can put something like this, because you can easily see this F3, we are going to make it fixed, for the whole column. So that's why I'm going to put this dollar sign so that everything should be, nicely done. And by the way, I'm going to make it round. So this is the first component. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I'm going to consider up to 2 digits. Okay. And then I'm going to, drag these things down, and then you can easily see the numbers are basically changing. So look at here. So the first one, you can see the first 2 pairs are considered. Then once I'm going to next one, then you can easily see it is basically looking the first pair and the second pair. And then once I'm going the last one over here, then it's supposed to take these 2 and then this first 2. And then the formula will be like 8 minus 2.9 divided by 12 minus 1. Okay, so that could be our formula. So let us see, whether how these things are happening here. So you can easily see the highlights are on these 2 and on this on these 2 as well. Anyway, so now we are going to advance, and then we need to finish this particular one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next one, and then I like to see what it is happening. So you can easily see these things has been shifted. Okay, so this shifting we don't want. So consequently, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do little bit some other things. For example, a dollar sign here and a dollar sign here. So by that way, what happens is the things will be, constant. And then I'm going to drag, and no changes you can find here. So now if we go here, and then we try to see, let's say, these particular, things are basically changing, which again, we don't want, okay? So in order to avoid those things, what we need to do is we need to do little bit another dollar sign, which will be over here. And by that way, this one we can again drag, and remember that end of the day, it should be 0.46. So you can find that value here as well. So now I'm going to delete this one, and then I'm going to drag this one to the right. And then once I'm going to the right, then I like to see how these things are happening. So definitely once you are going to then this one, then we need to look into just before this one, because 1 and 3, this pair we already have, accomplished. So as such, we are going to, change this, and then we are going to say this will be 4, and then this will be also 4. By that way, you can easily see these two pairs are happening, and then we compare to, okay, this particular pair, we are going to complete the whole thing. Now make an enter, and then we can drag down at the bottom, and then we can try to see, let's say the bottom one, and then try to see, okay, that same concept has been applied or not. So you can easily see that the second pair, that means the second row, and then the last one has been compared in this particular case. Now let's have a look into the next one. Over there we are comparing against the next one. So that means, okay, the first two is done, then the third one. So in terms of the third one, so we have to do these 4 cells, and we have to put the responses here. So we are just, okay, dragging the value here, and then we need to modify, because right now you can see that 4 and 2 and this has been compared. So why not we're supposed to change these things into row and column 3. Okay, so once we do that, then you can easily see that, okay, oh, I'm sorry, so it would be 5, and then it would be 5. So by that way, you can see that once I'm clicking, so 3 and 4, this pairs is going to appear here. Okay, and then the 3 will be constant, and then with compared to this particular row, we are going to compare with the remaining. Okay, so how you can do that? You can, if you drag down these things, then you will be basically completed. And by that way, we are going to do the next one. So if I drag this, and then this one's supposed to be, okay, 4 and 5, okay, but right now it shows 5 and 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this 5 to 6, and then again I'm going to put this one 6 as well. So by that way, this comparison, you can easily see with the row 4 and 5 I just accomplished. Once I do that, then once I get it down, then this particular column is also done. Then I am going to the next one, which is this, and then this one is supposed to be the next pair. That means 5 and 6, and 5 will be the base, and then with compared to 5, we are going to, okay, compare up to 12. So as that's the case, then we are going to change this 6 to 7. Okay, so this is done, and then we are going to drag down, and this particular comparison, that means the comparison between, okay, this one versus all of them are basically completely done. So now we are going to look into next one, and then I'm going to increase this. And once we increase, then we can easily see the highlighted cells like 5 and 7, but we need to do 7 minus 6. So as such, we need to change this 7 to 6, and then this one, we also need to make it 6. So by that way, again, if you click, then you can, oh, I'm sorry, I did a mistake. So it would be like, okay, 8, and then it would be 8 as well. Okay, and then I'm going to drag these things down, and then if you look into the last one, then you can see that the last one will be with compared to 6 and 12. The next, column we are going to compare, this particular one, which is number 7, with compared to number 7, we will compare with 8, then 7 minus 9, and then 7 minus 10. So that particular way we're supposed to proceed. So this one, if we drag, to the right, and then we need to, okay, finalize the number. So this one we need to take, which is F9, by the way. So we just change, and then it will be also E9, and then I just made enter, and I like to make sure, okay, I selected the right ones. Okay, once we do that, then we are going to get it down like this, and then we are done for this. And then I'm going to increase 1, and then that increment, right now you can see that 7 minus 9, but we need to make it 9 minus 8. So that means, okay, we need to increase the cell from 9 to 10, and then this one will be 10. And once I am finished this, then I will have, finished the whole column. Next one, I'm advancing to the next, and then I need to make sure, okay, I am comparing. So let's say 10 and 9. So if that is the case, then I need to increase to 11 this, and then it will be E11 as well. And then if you hit enter, then you are done. And then if you drag these things, then the next two will be done as well. So next one, I'm going to copy this cell to this, and then make sure we are basically, okay, using number 10th, row with compared to 10 row, 11 and 12 need to be, executed. So that means it will be, 12 number cell, and then this will be again 12 number cell, and then I'm done here. And then I just drag it down. So by that way, the last cell is done. And then if we just compare this, we take this one and then extend, then this one you can easily see 10 minus 12, but we need to do 11 minus 12. So that means, okay, this particular cell will be F13, and then the next one, it will be E14. Oh, sorry, it should be E13, I'm sorry. Okay, so then what happens is, now if you look into the formula, then you can easily see that we are basically, okay, making minus from the bigger, bigger location minus the earlier one divided by the rank of the locations. And by that way, all of the slopes we already have calculated. Now, the sense slope, so if I say sense slope equal to, so let's say if we say like this, that would be the median of all the values. So consequently, the formula I'm going to write is median, and then I'm going to consider all the cells here. Okay, so now we can easily see the sense slope value we get is 0.365. Okay, so now if we do, let's say, okay, only these particular points and try to look into the slope using linear regression, that we can also do. So that one, if you do like this, so then this is the graphics, and then right click here, and then you are going to get the trend line, and we can have a look into the display equation. So once you display the equation, then over here you can easily see that all of these things, but just one sec, I need to make these things a little bit bigger. So here you can see that the slope is basically 0.3318, and then the Shin slope, which is based on median slope, which is 0.36. So definitely you can see there is a difference, and this difference is attributed because this data set which we are looking, this is not normally distributed. That is the reason. So I think, okay, by this particular way, you can manually calculate the sense slope. Thank you.